Alright, welcome back, my friends. Thank you for hanging around and allowing me that short break. I'll put the we'll put the agony of Powerpuff Girls behind us and now move on to something that should be a lot more fun. Ooh. And a lot more glitched. Well, I don't think that's what we want to see. I was gonna walk around and kind of see what the situation was like with the glitched version of the game there, but it immediately crashed, unfortunately. So we didn't get to enjoy very much cool stuff there. So excuse me one moment, and let me kind of wiggle the cartridge there a little bit and see if I can get it to behave a little better. Just a moment. All right, looking a little better. So we need to load our save. There we go. All right. So this is the first playthrough of this game, and I like to do things super blind, so that may lead to a lot of being lost and struggling. Hopefully not too much, but I did wander for a good 45 minutes or so, accomplishing nothing last time, so I can't promise it's not going to happen. But this game made a tremendously good first impression. I would say this game easily has potential to be a new favorite if it continues on this path. I'm really pleased with it so far. Just taking a look in our inventory, letting that refresh my memory a little bit, perhaps. I've heard that there's a village somewhere, a village where only women live. I wonder. Alright, so last time, everything that we've accomplished in this game we did last time, but where we left off we got a Sword of Fire. And this seems perfect for adventuring into the snowy mountain area, which we took a brief look at before, but I wasn't able to actually accomplish anything over there. I think it was this way. Yep. Here we go. This game is really, really bright. Alright, so yeah, this enemy, I don't think we were even able to damage that enemy before. Oh, wait. Before we do this, the swords, the different sword powers, enable us to break through different types of cracked stone walls. And I think there was one back near the beginning of the game that we might be able to break through now that we didn't before. I don't remember if I went back here yet. This is what happens when you put a game down for a week. Sometimes you get a little bit fuzzy on what you actually did the previous time you played and what you only meant to do. What was that? Taking a lot of damage here. Okay, so this wall I might be able to break now. Victory. The wind is filled with sorrow. Return to Leaf soon. Oh no. I think we're not supposed to be here yet. That is, I believe, the sound the game makes when you are not able to attack an enemy. So while we can open this passage now, I don't think we're actually supposed to go back there yet. I think if I try that, we're just going to be overwhelmed with... we're going to be quickly overwhelmed with enemies. Your character runs along so fast in this game. It feels like it feels like I'm rushing through everything just because the character naturally walks so fast. Alright, so that whole detour was completely unnecessary. You see what like I said though, like I said something about wandering around lost. That's the kind of thing I do. Yeah, so these guys, well, I don't know. I'm pretty sure this is where I'm supposed to be. Oh no. Oh no, I've just gone in a circle. Oh, I can't believe it. Well, it's nice. It's nice that they included those little shortcuts, right? I wish I could have discovered that some other way, though, than by approaching it from both ends. These enemies take a lot of damage. And there's a lot of them. Okay, we can open that passage. Oh, I've got more glitches creeping in. Okay, pair of warp boots. That's an alright find. Nothing too special, but whoa. Might be a good idea. Oh, I can't save. I was gonna say it might be a good idea to save. Oh no, I'm wasting stuff. The game is melting down. We'll just power our way through for a moment. Kind of like those spider enemies. Too many items. Oh no. I used a medical herb. I found a medical herb. Uh-oh, I keep using stuff. Okay, we got a stairwell on the right. This whole area can't be pointless, right? Found the boots of glitches. That I did. So I'm sorry if the glitches are obnoxious to look at, but I'm poisoned. It has kind of always been policy on the stream. When a game starts to glitch out, we normally just ride that wave and see what happens, because I like to look at it as an opportunity to, you know, see some interesting things that you might not normally get to see in the game. And so long as the game remains playable, I'm okay to let it, I'm okay to let it glitch out for a while. I need to be more careful. I keep wasting MP by healing when I don't need to. That's the real downside to the character moving so fast. It makes me become careless. It has got a very like powerful like negative psychological effect in that way. My character moves so quickly, it just makes me want to rush everywhere I go. And I end up rushing into danger. Tornell, you found me. But you have to find the tornado bracelet before I teach you more magic. But I've got the magic ring. What is the magic ring? Magic power is replenished. Oh, the magic ring was consumable, and I consumed it. Okay. Tornado bracelet. I gotta head to bed, Zinshan says. I enjoyed lurking. Good luck going through the dungeons. And take care, chat. Thank you for being here, Zinshan. I appreciate your company. It's good to see you again. And I hope that you sleep well, my friend. I hope poison is something that kind of wears off after a while, but I don't think it is. Well, at least I can't get double poisoned. It's pretty clear that I'm going to have to use the warp boots to go back to town to get healed, but I'm trying to hang in there to the last moment so I can explore a little bit. That bridge is probably what we need to figure out how to get onto. Alright, time to warp. I wasn't 100% sure that that sleeping at the inn was going to recover our, was going to heal us of poison. Thankfully it did. Alright, so we'll buy some warp boots. And as many antidotes as I could carry, which I think was only 2. This game's combat must be a little tougher because of how fast the player character moves. It can be. I find myself being a little surprised by enemies if I'm not really paying attention, you know? But the game is certainly not tedious. And, you know, I think I'll take a little extra difficulty to avoid tedium. So it's got that going for it. I need to just stay focused and not get poisoned a million times. I think we'll be okay if I... Okay, we can't hurt these enemies, but we can push them really, hard. So that's good. Oh, let me move over here to safety for a moment, because we have a raid coming in. Hello, everybody. Vance Velez, thank you for the raid, Vance. Great to see you. I hope you're doing well tonight, my friend. I hope you've had a great stream. Let me put a shout out for you in the chat. My friends, if you're not Oh no! I've been poisoned! I should have paused. I should have paid attention. I didn't. Oh, I don't have that many antidotes. And I'm already using one. Alright. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. As I was saying, you can use that link there to follow Vance, if you would. Vance does a lot of cool retro games, and especially Bomberman. If you want to see some really skilled Bomberman gameplay, look no further. Congratulations, you've won the You're Playing the Most Interesting Video Game of the Ones I Follow award. Well, thank you. I'm very pleased with this game. This is my first playthrough of this game. I picked it up last week. We've played one session of it, and I'm still working my way through it. But it made an amazing first impression. Crystalis, at least, you know, up until where I am in the game, I can't recommend it enough. This game is a lot of fun, if it continues to be as good as it has been, like, it's on track to be a new favorite of mine. I really like it. Enemies in this area are real tough. David Rover, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow, David. I very much appreciate having you on board with us. So if you're new to the stream, my friends, I stream several nights a week. I'm primarily a retro gamer, though I do kind of play new Nintendo releases and sometimes sort of an indie retro style game from time to time. I'm really big on physical hardware and collecting. So we're usually working almost exclusively off of actual machines, which means you get to see a lot of glitches and crashes and fun stuff like that. And yeah, I like to play all types of games. Sometimes we do casual and first-time playthroughs, and sometimes we do challenge runs of brutally difficult stuff. Like all the Contra games I'm currently working my way through. And we generally just try to have a laid-back time, and Everybody gets to relax while I struggle and suffer. I also have a tendency to play a lot of broken, miserable garbage games. And I mean really play them, like we don't just sample them for a few minutes, but we really live with them, and a lot of times end up beating them. That's been the story with the Powerpuff Girls games lately. Okay, I have successfully duplicated my previous walk through this cave. I really didn't need to go back there, of all the places to be. Rush Pirate, welcome in. Very happy to see you. Hope your Wednesday is going well. There's just something about that ball of fire. It's hard to even tell what the sprite is supposed to be for the large ball of fire. It's just kind of a mess. What? Agent Frownie inspired this emote, but the Frownie emotes here are S tier. Thank you, Vance. That looks an awful lot like Cuphead to me. Or I guess Mugman, rather. There's too many enemies on this screen. The NES can't take it. So currently I'm trying to find my way through this cave. I've got to find something called a tornado bracelet, which I think is hidden up here in the mountains somewhere. But I'm not very familiar with this cave system yet. And everything kind of looks the same, so... We might be kind of hanging around here for a while. If there are too many enemies on the screen and the game crashes, that means you beat the game. You know what? I like that philosophy. I like that philosophy a lot. So, one of my favorite games is Ghosts and Goblins on the NES. And there's some weird thing about the game where one of the bosses just sometimes doesn't spawn. You get to the end of the stage... and where the boss is supposed to be, there's just nobody. And then all you can really do is just kind of hang out until the timer runs down, and you die, and you have to restart the level. And I think that's very unfair. I think if the boss was too much of a coward to show up for the battle, then the victory should go to me by default, and I should just proceed to the next level. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if a real-world sporting event was like that? Team X shows up, Team Y doesn't, and so instead they don't declare a winner. Team Y just stays where they are, and Team X has to restart the season. It's indefensible. Well, I found my way up here before, too. Oh, that sounds terrible. Man says there is, it's called boxing, and Floyd Mayweather dodges people in their prime so he can face them when they're slow. I don't know a whole lot about, like, the various combat sports, but that has always seemed kind of strange to me, how it seems like someone is able to, like, sort of claim a title or, like, you know, like, get to the top and then just kind of not compete and just sort of sit on the, title. I have a plan, but it's not very well formed, and it's probably not a very good plan. You see, what I'm trying to do... It'd be nice if I'd stop going in a circle, but I don't think there's a lot of chance of that. What I'm trying to do is figure out how to get where this bridge is. You see that bridge? That's where I want to be. That bridge seems like a really cool place to hang out. I'm just having the great difficulty. Like I said, everywhere in this cave looks the same, and so I've spent a lot of time going in circles. I may actually have to start drawing myself a map. I think I actually didn't get poisoned that time. I still can't hurt that guy. Okay, hang on. This might be good. Nope, I think I took the same circle I did before. But I also think I just realized something I'm doing wrong. When I come out from there, I'm just supposed to go in here. That's a problem. I've been not going in here. Right? Let's just see what we find. We'll figure this out. I always figure everything out eventually. Usually. Put an asterisk by always. Opie. Opie Kimbo is here. Good to see you. I saw that you've kind of been back to streaming a little bit recently, playing some Majora's Mask and Elden Ring. I hope things are going well for you, my friend. That the movie business is continuing to treat you well. Crystalis, still gotta beat it. This is my first time, my first playthrough. We started it up on one of the streams last week, so I've played it a bit, but still working my way through it for the first time here, and I really like it. I'm doing a pretty mediocre job at the game right now, it feels like. I think I'm heading back to the entrance of the snow area, which is not where I want to be. Yeah, this is terrible. Oh, how did I end up here? These caves... I don't understand how these caves connect. My brain isn't big enough. I don't have enough mental canvas to draw myself a map in my head. It's been busy. Don't worry about... Don't worry, it just gets harder. That's alright. I'm up for a challenge. The game has been pretty easy so far. It does sort of start you off pretty easy. It had me scratching my head a little bit last time too. I spent like 45 minutes or so, not really sure how to make progress. Last time we played. This time, at least I think I'm on track for progress. Like I said, I can't really draw a mental map of this place very easily. I think this is not good. Yeah, That's not good. Well, maybe I'm not supposed to be here yet. That's a distinct possibility. There's one other area of the overworld that I haven't looked at. Well, but I'm still missing that that area with the bridge. That's got me thinking that bridge has got me thinking that I still need to stay here. That bridge is lies and nonsense, and they put it there just to have me think that. I wasn't paying attention to my health, and now I've perished. Alright. Well, fortunately, we didn't really lose much of anything. I did drop back down a level, I guess, but... well, we've got plenty of a time to reclaim that. Okay, this cave is useless to me. I can just cross that one off altogether. I really should be fighting more of these enemies, but it takes so many hits to kill them. If I can just pin them against a rock like that, it's not so bad. Alright, you know what? I'm going to do it. Getting myself a sheet of paper. It's time to start drawing. Okay. There's another branch to the left, but we're going to the right first. Right and up. And up quite a bit, and then right. And up, and we got some stairs. Got a dead end on the left. Alright. Stay away from me, enemy. And down. Got stairs on the right. Classic video game tactic. I am not above drawing a map. We played a game called Adventures, or no, just Dr. Franken, not the Adventures of Dr. Franken. That's an SNES game. I played a game called Dr. Franken on the stream, and that game was so complicated. The game was so complicated that I had to draw a map. And another one. And another one. And another one. And another one. All those maps were for one game. I died. I was chin-wagging too much and I died again. But it's alright, we didn't really lose anything. Alright. We're going to be focused. We're going to take it seriously. But yeah, that game was actually a lot of fun. Dr. Franken on the Game Boy. If you don't mind a game being a little janky and a lot confusing, and you like to draw your own map, then that's the game for you. I had a lot of fun with it. But so much of that stream was just watching me with my head down as I tried to draw. I really wish there was I had a mechanism for letting viewers, like I wish I had a map cam so I could let viewers watch what I was drawing, but my computer's not sophisticated enough to handle that kind of thing. Alright, we're gonna take the same path we were taking. Someday maybe. Someday maybe. You know, if the stream keeps going long enough, eventually I'll invest in a decent computer and we can do multiple cameras. And then people can experience the thrill that is watching me draw a map. The same way I experience it. Okay, so there were stairs on the right, and I didn't map the left. The left goes left and down. Imagine that, the left goes left. Left and down to a door. I don't have a symbol for door. Alright, and so that leads out to an area that I am going to call the lower upper. See, this would be the higher upper. This area is called the upper because it's above the bridge that I don't know how to get to. The bridge is on the... well, the bridge is the bridge. This area is called the upper. Alright, so... we know where this area leads now. We've successfully mapped one entire path through the cave. On the other end of the stairs, there's a T with an immediate dead end on the right. A dangerous place to sit and stand. Alright, this won't fit. This won't actually fit within what I've drawn. So, we'll cut this off. We'll just call this A. And I'll start drawing a new map up here. Okay, stairs. Right hand side is a dead end. Left goes left and up. And more left. Down to an opening. Okay, left, down, opening. This leads to the upper. All right, cool. Okay, up goes to a set of stairs that kind of wiggles. Oh, I'm glad that guy didn't find me. Then it goes up and around and down, and this is where up and around and down to the right and down some more. I think this is leading to where the yeah, this guy was. Dornell. Down, and this leads to Dornell. Alright, so we've almost mapped this whole place. I'm becoming increasingly certain I'm not supposed to be in these caves yet. Those stairs don't count, they're just for show. They don't lead anywhere. Yuck. Jesse Thompson, welcome in. Great to see you. How are you tonight? I'm doing pretty well. We made some pretty good progress in Powerpuff Girls. At least for a while we did. I got to a level that was a bit too hard for me, so we're gonna have some work cut out for us tomorrow. And now I am lost and confused, but I'm drawing a map. Okay, nothing fancy, just a really basic kind of stick map we got here. There's the sort of first area and the second area. Makes sense to me, at least. But anyway, I'm doing pretty well. I hope that you are doing all right. Wednesday's been kind to you. Okay, left and up. It goes up for quite a bit, and then left and down to stairs. And those stairs lead nowhere. Alright, we've mapped this entire area, and guess what? I'm not supposed to be here yet. This little cave, I'm going to title this Nowhere. Alright, well that covers all the branches. That would explain why I couldn't find anywhere new. I really want to run up this slope. Do I have an item that would help me get up there? I don't think so. I was wondering if maybe the ball of wind combined with the sword of fire in some way I didn't know about. But it seems like no. You can't mix and match the swords and the with the ball of wind or the ball of fire. The elements have to line up. Okay, about to hit a new level. Wonderful. Can I run up this? Nope. Didn't think so. Alright, so... guess we might as well stop in town and visit the inn. We've got a lot of money, so... no reason to be afraid to spend it. Okay, let's see if this guy has anything to say. The tornado bracelet is somewhere in Mount Saber. It will maximize the power of the Sword of Wind. Alright, my other thought is that maybe I'm supposed to travel up this way. Cross your fingers. Well, that's bad. Back to the inn. Also, it's been a while since the game has, since we've seen any glitches from the game. So I think continuing to play through the glitches again was the right move. It did get a little ugly there for a moment, but seems to have cleared right up. All right, so there's something that I'm missing about this area yet. That path goes upward. There's one upward, one downward. Two upward, one downward. And I really and truly cannot run up this slope. No matter how hard I try. Oh, I landed right on an enemy. Alright, let's go back to the upper area. There may be something I'm failing to understand about the slopes. Oh, I couldn't hurt these guys because I was using the wrong sword. Interesting. This game makes you want to... This game wants you to switch your sword all the time. Very interesting. I don't know that I like that. I like the idea, but I don't like being in the menu so much. Alright, this is the lower upper. There's only one path. It's downward right here. That makes me slide all the way down. It's definitely something I'm missing here. Maybe if I use my telepathy, maybe someone will have something useful to say. Dornell, I pray for your safety. Don't rely on others so much. Looking forward to seeing you. Nothing. That was pretty useless. Alright, well there's like a hidden passageway or something that I'm missing inside this series of caves here. Let me take another look. I think I need to take another look in this. There's another cave over here. Let me take one more look in this other cave. Griggs has been reorganizing files on my PC. Heard you talking about making your own in-game maps. I did that a lot back in the day, but it only ever made sense to me. Anyone else saw it, they'd be like, what is this supposed to be? Yeah. Yeah, I like drawing my own maps. I don't, I kind of only do it when absolutely necessary. But I do kind of like when a game forces me to do it. The wind is filled with sorrow. Return to Leaf soon. Looks like everybody's still going. Some evil people attacked and took everyone away. This is what I've heard. Why would we want a shortcut back there? What am I missing, I wonder? Sorry, I'm kind of really struggling to make progress here. I'm trying my best to be clever enough to figure this out. The thing about this place is this series of caves here, it's not even really that big. Like, I got tremendously lost in it. But there's really not even that much going on here. No, don't poison me. Oh, that's the worst. My only thought is that there must be a secret passageway. Nowadays, games have their own in-game maps, which is good and bad. Leads to a bit of coddling, hand-holding. Takes some of the fun of making your own map, but it can be convenient when you're not in the mood to draw out a map at that moment. Tell me where the tornado bracelet is, Tornell. That guy does not understand what the situation is. He's got information that I need. And I've got 2 swords. He's lucky I'm patient. That's all I'm saying. I'm all for auto mapping as a feature in video games, as long as you have the option to turn it off. That way people control how much coddling they want at any given time. See, that's the way I think it should be done. I think it should be off by default, and people have an option to turn it on. Sparrow, welcome in. Great to see you. How are you, my friend? Been a very busy day for me. Well, hopefully you have an opportunity to relax some. And if you do, I like to think that this is a good place to do it. Things are going pretty well for me. I'm currently very lost in this game. But, you know, that's just pretty much par for course. Tune in at any random point in any random Frownie stream, and you will find that I am lost and not making a whole lot of progress. This bridge, I just want to get on that bridge. That's the place to be, I know it. I want to be up there. It's so frustrating. I can almost make it up there. I don't even know what these rabbit boots do. They don't appear to make me move any faster. I can jump! I couldn't jump before. This changes everything! Oh, thank goodness I messed with the menu. I had a suspicion that something was up. I could never jump because when you have your magic on, it overrides the jump ability. I have to turn my magic off to be able to jump. Oh, this is great. What a fantastic game. Oh, we're making progress again. I need to go on that slope and jump at the right time to land on that bridge. That's how we do it. I love this game. See, look at that. I told you Told you, Agent Frownie always figures everything out eventually. That statement is sometimes true. That's why you don't give up. That's why you don't give up. You just have to be patient. You have to be patient and just waste hours of time, and you'll eventually figure everything out. All right, I'm in a safe spot now. Oh. All right. Greg said like the Etrian Odyssey games. I haven't played those, but I heard good things about them. I like that. I don't think I ever used it, but I like that that's one of the things about the DS is like that the DS offers so many opportunities for drawing your own maps. Or like it seems like it could easily be a feature of so many games on the DS. I don't know how often they actually used it. Sparrow, a bit worried with the sudden stream stop yesterday. My mind went immediately to tornadoes because of all the videos I watched recently. No, just regular internet outage. It happens every now and then. We've been lucky. I think the last time my internet just cut out like that was in April. But yeah, it's just one of those things that's gonna happen from time to time. I particularly enjoyed the way such a feature was implemented in Shining in the Darkness. For 1 MP, you get an overhead map of the immediate vicinity along with coordinates. Then you're thrust back into the first-person perspective. That sounds pretty cool. Sounds pretty frustrating. That's a bit frustrating. I wonder what sorts of speeds you get up to in your neck of the woods. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I signed on for my current internet plan like 3 years ago. This is going to be rough, timing this jump to land on that bridge properly. I've got a suspicion this is going to be a little rough, but it's alright. Even if it's difficult to make progress, knowing what to do. Knowing what to do makes up for a world of hurt. I appreciate the anti-spoiler approach. Thank you for protecting my ignorance. area I'm in went from being an internet black spot for most of the aughts. We were lucky we could even get a dial tone on our phones to having a fiber node box out in front of our house. It's not spectacular, but it's plenty fast for me. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember what speeds I'm supposed to be getting. I just whenever I signed up for it, I was like, yeah, that sounds like it'll do, and then hasn't crossed my mind to think about it another time. I probably actually get faster internet than I need. You know. Whoa. Enigma Wave, thank you for the raid. Welcome in. Welcome to Crystalis. Welcome to your friends. Very happy to have everybody join us. Thank you for coming in. I just discovered I can jump. I just figured out how to jump. I was walking around, well, I've been basically walking around for about an hour. I've done a whole lot of not much. I drew a little map. I drew a nice little map of the cave system here in 2 parts. And I learned that I can jump. This is a first playthrough. I've never played this game before. And I play games very stubbornly blind. For those who may not know, that to explain why it takes me so long to make progress sometimes. I'm tremendously anti-spoiler, but it means we get great moments of discovery. You wouldn't believe how happy I was just a moment ago when I discovered I could jump. Nintendo Natalie, good to see you again. Thank you for coming along with the raid. I hope your Wednesday is treating you well. And Sots, great to have you here as well. Thank you very much. How was Kirby and the Forgotten Land? How's your progress in that coming along? That game was such a good time. I was just talking about it earlier. I was sort of musing out loud about what the best Switch game is. I said sort of by default that Breath of the Wild was probably the best Switch game, and then I thought, well, I did like Kirby quite a bit. And, I don't know that I could say I liked it more than Breath of the Wild, but I did like it quite a bit. It's probably my second favorite game on the Switch. I should probably read the instruction manual for this game. Rush Pirate says that I'm the same anti-spoiler. Love to hear it. I love when other people can appreciate the struggle. I'm always making games harder than they have to be. I will say though about the manual, I'm a big supporter of the manual. I think that the manual is an important part of retro games, and you know, in some ways, I would say that when you don't have the manual, you kind of don't have the complete game for older games like this. I don't fault a game for using the manual to explain stuff and not explaining it in the game for these kind of games back then. Like some people do. I'm fine with that. But that being said, I never walk my talk in that regard. as much as I'm very pro instruction manual, I never read them. And I often suffer for it. But I try to be very fair to a game, and if there's something explained in the manual that I don't know about, I try not to blame the game for that. You know, it's my fault. I didn't read it. It was right there. Timing this jump. I think that's what I'm supposed to do, is time a jump here. I could be wrong about this whole approach, but... But I'm certainly going to spend a lot of time trying it before I move on. Now that I've got this ability, I immediately want it to be useful, you see? Or I want it to be immediately useful, rather. I don't know. I don't know that I'm going about this the right way. Oh, maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm supposed to use the jump to climb. That's what I'm supposed to do. Victory! Nice. I made it to the bridge. This is where I've wanted to be my whole life, and I'm finally here. All my dreams have come true. Not knowing the complete structure of the game, I saw credits. Ah. All right, I know where you are then in Kirby. I'll try not to say anything about what may lie ahead for you yet, though. But I hope you continue to enjoy it. Here's one for you, Frownie. Do you know the most modern game you have played in recent times, say over the past year? Well, Kirby. Kirby and the Forgotten Land just came out this year, and I played it. So that's actually an easy one, Sparrow. I think Tandem was a recent release, and we played it. We're finally seeing something new, my friends. Oh, thank you for the stretch break. That's Master Tuesday with the stretch break. Happy Tuesday, Tuesday. Welcome in. Let me just find somewhere safe to stand. You know what? Let's go back out on the bridge. We'll just do our stretching out on the bridge. This seemed like a safe place to stand. I was hoping for something non-Nintendo, but honestly, I shouldn't be surprised. That's all the modern stuff that I play, Sparrow, is Nintendo games. What else could it possibly be? My most recent consoles that are non-Nintendo are the original Xbox and the PlayStation 2. So if you want to say, if you want something not on a Nintendo console, the most recent thing I played is probably Silent Hill 2 or Legacy of Kain on the Xbox. One of those. I was hoping for a curveball, like you were going to say you played Fall Guys or something. All right, let's we'll go for the big camera for the stretch there. If you just come in, by the way, I guess I should just tell you a little bit about the stream. I stream several nights a week. We've got a very sort of try for a very laid back sort of attitude here. I do a lot of first playthroughs. I do them blind and stubborn, as you just saw. So I try to keep everything relaxed for everyone watching while I suffer. While I suffer through the games, not knowing what to do. Either that or punching above my weight class with challenge runs of some brutally difficult games like Super Ghouls and Ghosts or the Contra series is what I'm working on lately. And yeah, we do things mostly retro with an occasional modern Nintendo release or some indie throwback sort of thing. And I like game collecting, and I like physical hardware. So that's a lot of what you'll see on the stream. But let's stretch. I think Fall Guys just released on the Switch, so I could play that now. All right. Always very refreshing. Let's have a little bit of coffee. Alright, so I don't know if I'm actually going to need to draw a map of this set of caves or not. It turned out that my last map was kind of pointless, so I think I'll hold off on drawing anything until we've explored for a little while. I think this just goes in a circle. Yeah. Tornado bracelet, yes! This is what we've been looking for. That's what we've been looking for this whole time. Oh, wonderful. wow. Yeah, that's really something. Just sweeps the whole screen. It does take a lifetime to charge, though. Kind of fun. Alright, I am much more powerful now. Can we jump over the bridge? We cannot. The whole time. I could have gone up here the whole time. If only I knew I could jump and I did it right, I would have been able to do it. Oh, my health is looking real not good. Let's see if I can... There we go. Fix that. Okay, so this guy's supposed to teach us some magic now. That's what he promised, anyway. Frown, I'm surprised you made it back. I'll now teach you Teleport. This magic allows you to move from town to town instantly. Have a safe journey. Aha. Well, we don't need warp boots anymore. All right. Now the thing is, I'm a little unsure of what to do next. So we're gonna kind of just do the old walk around and talk to a few people sort of thing. Oh, I know where we should go next. Never mind. The tornado bracelet is somewhere in Mount Saber. Yeah, no it's not. I've got it right here. Alright, we can probably go up this path that the game wouldn't let me go up before. Yeah, alright, here we go. An inn in the middle of nowhere. Welcome, my guest. I am Nadare. get rested, and awake refreshed. The trail is blocked off and strange people wander there. It's quite weird. The food here is great. I wish I could eat like this always. Okay, well, we just stayed in an inn, so I don't really need to do that. Tool shop. What do we got? Herbs, antidote, power, and warp boots. Well, they never need those again. Don't you just love when you find a clue about an item after you've already found the item without it? Oh no, that guy. I actually talked to him before, Greg. I was just hoping it would. I was hoping he might say something different. We'll just leave that guy in the snow for a moment. I hear someone talking. Are those worthless villagers working well? Well, they're used to the cold weather, and I haven't heard complaints. But of course, it's difficult to complain when you're not allowed. Hee 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 hee. We must make them work harder, hee hee. Long live the Dragonia Empire. I guess we might have to fight that person. Alright, well, let's see. It's you. I had a dream I could strike it rich, but alas, I failed. We met him earlier in the game. I was captured by some strange people. They put me in a cave. I also saw people from Leaf. They were all being forced to work. But I escaped and they found me. I cannot move. Frown. Hold on, hold on. Oh, to have tasted Nadari's food again. I am He's already dead. Oh, he's dead. He didn't make it. I thought they would have, I thought that maybe they would have, kind of tiptoed around that. But nope, this guy's just dead. I had all these medical herbs, and I could have saved him, and I did nothing. Turns out I'm a real villain. Let me see if I can just blow these guys away with my wind power. Nope. Who are you? You cannot pass here. Attack. Yeah, now I can blow them away with my wind power. Nice. I obliterated them. Unfortunately, we do have to do a lot of, like, going back and forth in the menu. Okay, got a long bridge up there. Got an antidote. That's always nice. We're really close to another level up. So I'm going to kind of go slowly and fight a lot of enemies that might even be somewhat unnecessary. Kai, welcome to the stream. Been a while. Good to see you again. Oh, bats are always the worst. There's a teddy bear-like quality to this enemy. I have a few more weeks till you'll be on more often. Right on. We're happy to have you here whenever you can make it, my friend. Excellent. Your level is increased. Beautiful. Seemed like there were a lot of branching paths in that other direction, so I thought maybe I would see how complicated this pathway looked. That probably leads to some major progress. I should go back and explore in the other direction. Might need to enjoy that medical herb soon. Yep. It looked like the so-called teddy bear took its own head off and tried to throw it at you. That it did, Sparrow. That it did. I was gonna say something after I compared him to a teddy bear. I was gonna say something about him being a lot less friendly than I would, you know, expect from a teddy bear, of course. This is situation's getting real bad. What is... Oh... think it takes more MP than I currently have to use the full power of the wind sword, to use the tornado bracelet. I guess that is to say. Have I gone in a circle? Things have gotten very complicated. I don't know that I want to do a lot of outdoor exploring here. I know it was short, but I'm off to bed. Have a good stream. Let's hope your internet doesn't crash again. Thank you, Kai. Thanks for dropping in, and I hope that you sleep well. Okay, I haven't explored this upward path yet, I don't think. Oh, this is a very complicated cave system. I'm guessing that running into these guys with the swords is a good sign that I'm moving in the correct direction. I was worried this guy was going to respawn and I was going to walk into him. I'm glad that didn't happen quite the way I was worried that it might. Are these guys even weak to fire? Doesn't sound like it. Oops. The people of Dragonia are making a special metal from the minerals we dig here. The elder is held prisoner at the top of the mountain, and they will kill him if we don't work. Thank you for saving me. Well, I haven't really done that yet. There are village people in the next prison as well. I heard that part of the prison wall is connected to the top. Alright, well. You hit your wrist. I'm sorry to hear that, Kai. I hope it's not too bad. Thank you for saving me. So you saved us. Big deal. So you saved us. Big deal. Well, those guys are jerks. You now have the key to prison. I'm a little concerned. I'm expecting like a boss fight up ahead. I can't currently save. I'm not really in any condition to fight a boss. My MP is gone and my health is pretty low. I do have an item that I will restore at least some of my MP. I think I've got one medical herb left. Whoa! I'm very near the grave. Oh, that didn't restore very much MP at all. I am the great General Kelbesk. I'm one of Dragonia's finest 4. Wimp, you will now see the wrath of my power. Not the wrath of his power. I keep wanting... No! Game over. Well, that was ugly. Let's see where we continue from. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. That show I still had the key? I do. Alright. Alright, we can do this. We're not that far back. Might take a few tries, but we've got a decent checkpoint here. Okay, that's good. That's good. That guy cost us a lot of health last time. Alright, we've got a lot more health than we had before. Someone tell this guy I'd really prefer if he'd stop running his leaves into me. Well, I'm actually doing worse than last time. I had so much more health and I did so much worse. Oh, that's terrible. I really wish enemies in this game could drop health items. All the enemies can drop is useless money. I was thinking I'd backtrack a little bit because I feel like there's a lot of branches in this cave that I didn't really explore. And so, like, I feel like there's a good possibility that there's health items among these different branches, but... as it turns out, I'm gonna lose more health looking for health items than I could possibly gain, even if I found some. I wanted to use these warp boots to waste them, because I don't want them in my inventory. Ugh. How do I get to the save screen? Well, you know, my friends, I think that maybe this is going to be a good place to call it a night for tonight. I don't really necessarily want to quit. I'm having a lot of fun with the game, but I am also kind of running out of steam. And I think that I'd rather play the game when I'm at a little bit more full energy. Did we ever look in here? I may be old now, but in my youth I could climb many mountains easily. My son Nadare is still a wimp compared to me. Ha ha ha. We didn't look in here before. That man from Bryn Mawr hasn't returned yet. What, he's dead? I'm sorry. Be careful. Huh. Alright, well I missed that room before somehow. But yeah, I think we're gonna wrap up the stream here for tonight, my friends. I would like to normally I'd like to roll on for a bit longer, but I'm a little tired tonight and kind of running out of steam. So I think this would be a good place to call it. We know the way forward for next time we pick this up. Maybe we'll play this again on Friday. I haven't really decided what we're gonna do, but it might be good to pick this back up then. But yeah, thank you for being here for the stream, my friends. I really appreciate your company. So many fine people have come in with the raids, and you know, so many fine regulars that I frequently get to enjoy the company of. Thank you so much, my friends. Thanks, Frownie. Thank you, Boat Ladder. And cheers, Sparrow. Yeah, so we'll head off. We'll head off to another channel with a raid. See what other people are up to. Tomorrow night we should be back. We're going to be continuing our. We should be back around 10:30-ish Central Time, 10:30 p.m. We're continuing our Jankuli event. We're going to be playing more of that Powerpuff Girls game at the beginning of the stream. Hopefully finishing it up. That level I'm stuck on is brutal. Brutal. I'll be very happy to be on the other side of that one. And then once we are, we should have one level left before the end of that. And then we're going to continue our playthrough of Pikmin 2. Like with this game, I'm having a great time with Pikmin 2. I'm really far along, so everything's a struggle, and I'm constantly nervous. Pikmin 2 has become a very intense experience, and I expect tomorrow to be no different than it has been lately. So maybe you'll want to join me for some of that. And if not, well, I'm always playing a whole bunch of different things, so there's lots of opportunity to catch something interesting around here. I'm going to point us in the direction of Grumpy Henna. Henna's got a real great stream with a very laid-back vibe to it as well, generally speaking. And she's playing Stardew Valley tonight, a game I haven't played, but one I hope to someday. It's a great game to relax to, and that's definitely something that I'm in the mood for. So we're going to head off in that direction, my friends. One last time, thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night or day, depending on what it is, wherever you are. And I hope that I get to enjoy your company again very soon. But for now, we're going to take off. Let's go on an adventure.